Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Songwriters Lounge. It's Honeyspoon.
Hello.
Hi.
Do you guys get left on the counter from time to time? I bet
Hopefully
nobody's ever
not.
asked
It's a
you
little
that.
sticky.
Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
I'm very excited to, as I told you, I was listening to your record earlier today, and I've been a fan for a while, and I'm very glad that you're here, so thank you.
Well, thanks for having us.
Sure,
again.
sure. It's better than, what did you say, your day job of teaching, whatever you said you were mad scientist.
I'm a mad scientist.
Technically, but there was a different term. That's not the official term. I think there's a different official term. Nobody needs to know. But mad scientist, I like. So we met at. We were discussing earlier. It's several different. I was trying to narrow it down. I kept running across you at the same. Like we kept being at the same places at the same time, and then Demi was kind enough to put us on the same bill at a couple of things at Black Dog Vinyl, and it was like finally. I'm like, well, why don't you come be on the show? So here we are. So that's great. How long have the question I was thinking earlier today? Were you a couple and then did music together, or did you do music together and then a couple, or did it all happen simultaneously, or is there a big story there, or is it like some hot the National Enquirer wants to know? Like,
No, we had been together for a long time before we actually started playing music together.
Yeah.
Josh was a musician when I met him, and I was a music fan
Mhm.
and would sing in the car, but never in front of other people.
right on.
So it was actually a pandemic project. We got bored enough in 2020 that he convinced me, we're not going anywhere. No one else is going to hear us.
I was like, I got nobody else to play with
He's
either.
just playing
so like,
with it on his guitar
I'm
in
bored.
the other
Like,
room.
come on in here. Let's try something.
Great.
And
Yeah.
Good.
Little
Yeah.
quarantine project.
Great.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. And I was curious about that because like I didn't know if and forgive me if you've had to tell that story 1,000 times. I apologize, but
No, it's all good.
I was like trying to think of like in my head I prepare all day trying to think of when you do this every week you try to think of a different thing, but it's a similar format and you try to ask but this is I told you I've only had one other time I've had two people and never they weren't married, that I can assure you, and I and I was like, wait a minute, I don't even know the backstory. Like, were you just musicians that were working together, and then there was some romantic backstory, or like I didn't know. That's that's it. That's also a great story that you were encouraging, her to just do more than sing in the car.
I would catch her singing when she didn't think I was listening
Sure.
here and there, and I always liked the way she sang. So I mean, that was something I was glad to be able to start doing.
Now, if I remember, did you go to school? Am I remembering that right?
I did. I am a music school cat. That's sort of the thing that I don't tell a whole lot of people.
Well, I think I only remember that because maybe a month and a half ago or so, I saw you guys at Fitzgerald's at the Song Circle at Fitzgerald's with Robin Benneman, and that was great. That was a fun night, and you guys were great. And I think you mentioned there was some mention of something and that stuck in my head because many of my friends went to Milliken, or a few of my friends did, and so that was kind of a music center. You either went there and played football, or you went there for music. And it was a small school, but there was a lot of people there for football or music, and so I remember very clearly being around all these music school
majors, yeah,
right, total music majors, and although I never went to college, I spent plenty of time at college. So I know you music major folks. Spent plenty of time at parties with people just like you.
yeah. We live up to that.
Right. Right. Some of the craziest parties I ever went to were, theoretically the nerds that were in music program were the craziest people I ever hung out with, and I hung out with some crazy people. So anyhow, that's awesome. I appreciate the structuring of the songs, the chord voicings that you choose, your ability to play the instrument, I mentioned earlier the choices of subject matter and the words and the things that you guys choose to say. I really enjoy. So I think it's great. So what is now, because there's two of you again, these present new problems, but one of the first question I ask is a question I call first things. So whether it's what was your first musical instrument that you purchased with your own money? So like not that it was gifted to you, but that when you gathered your own money together, like it was your purchase.
Yes. First instrument I bought with my own money was a Black Squire Fender P bass.
Right on.
Yep.
And how old are you?
I must have been 14.
Were you like mowing grass or shoveling driveways?
I painted my parents' fence that
See,
summer so
right,
that I could buy that thing in an amplifier.
Right.
You bet.
And the other, it's either I usually either ask that or first concert. So first concert, did you?
Oh, first concert. I think it was Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you,
In
like
high school.
going to see
out
Dave
at,
Matthews.
What was it? Was the New World then? I think.
Oh, at the World Theater, yeah.
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 The world.
Yeah.
I
It
know.
was like my first on my own concert. I think with
It's a
friends.
pretty good choice.
Yeah, it was good.
It's not. You didn't go see like well, I don't know, some boy band or something. Not that there's anything wrong.
I
with
mean,
that,
I've done
but-
that too. So.
That's just it. There's not anything wrong with it, but like Dave Matthews is pretty, firm
Yeah.
choice there. That's right up there. So, is there? Do you have a favorite ice cream?
Ooh, mint chocolate chip.
Do you just eat whatever she buys?
Yes, but
I'll
I
eat
like
anything.
I like vanilla because it's a test.
Mhm.
You can throw all kinds of stuff in ice cream, and you can kind of fake it if the ice cream's not so good. But if you got plain vanilla and it's good, it's real good.
Mm-hmm. I find it interesting the number of people that choose vanilla as ice cream is also a frequent question that I have.
What's your favorite
Vanilla.
ice cream? Vanilla. Oh, okay.
It's because for a similar reason, because good vanilla ice cream is, like you can tell when ice cream is cruddy, because if it's vanilla and it's cruddy, it's cruddy. But if it's vanilla and it's good, it's good.
It's the bomb.
Right, right. It has the same answer.
A scoop of vanilla on a warm brownie.
Yeah,
That is
right.
probably the best dessert.
Okay, you could start with a scoop of vanilla and ...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
A lot
go
of different
wrong.
ways.
It makes very few things worse.
Right. I can't think of anything it makes worse, really.
I mean, gravy, but
I don't know. I'm not. I might
I was
argue
trying
with
to
you
say
on
something
that
that
one.
would gross you out,
Right.
but it didn't work.
It didn't
Okay.
work really. It didn't work really. So, but that's
I don't know if
okay.
I'd eat that.
That's okay. We're allowed to have different opinions. I think. Would you guys like to do a song?
Sure.
You
All
get
right.
a song off of. Is it going to be a song off of this delightful album that I listened to?
It
today?
is. It's actually going to be the
Song?
first track off
A
of that
song?
album. It's one of our favorites to play. It's probably
Wanderlust is this fantastic album,
Yeah.
and which track is it going to be?
Sticks and Stones.
The lead off track.
The lead-off
Yeah,
track.
indeed.
No, I heard you do this at Fitzgerald's. I
Yeah.
like this one.
Yeah. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words, they just might kill me. I hold on to them, everyone, and boy, it's getting heavy. Did it make you feel big to tear me down, or did you not even know? You don't think before you speak, and it's really starting to show. Use your power for good. Spread it all around the neighborhood. Be careful what you say. Sometimes the words get in the way. Hey. If you can't say something nice, why'd you even come at all? You know the old saying, pride always comes before the fall. A careless word can change the mood or shift the whole room's latitude. Now's the moment, time to choose. What have you got to lose? Use your power for good. Spread it all around the neighborhood. Be careful what you say. Sometimes the words get in the way. Hey, hey. If at first you don't succeed, tomorrow is another day. But karma comes back around if you've got too much debt to repay. Our world is pretty bleak, but you can still land on your feet. Give a friend a safe space, or show that stranger a little grace. Use your power for good. Spread it all around the neighborhood. Be careful what you say. Sometimes the words get in the way. Hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Spread the love, it's okay. Hey, 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 hey. Give a little bit today. Hey, 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 hey. Spread the love, it's okay. Hey, 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 hey. Give a little bit today. Give a little bit today. Thank you.
Outstanding. That's awesome. The fact that you can play guitar like that and actually continue to breathe and play and do other things, I don't know how that seems complicated.
It's a blessing and a curse because I'm usually guilty of making songs complicated enough that people say stop doing that. She's smiling because it's true.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard to work with.
Well, I mean,
there it is.
but you can only be who you are, and if that's how they come to you, that's how they come to you. But the one of the things that what I try to do in this is, people have asked me recently in the last year or so, like, about writing songs. I went out a while back and started playing again, and I focused mostly on originals, specifically more dedicated to that than ever before in my life. I always, and I've used this word several times, I used covers as like a Trojan horse for most of my life. Play a few covers and then sneak one of my originals in, and play a few covers and get them comfortable and sneak something. And then as life has gone on, I just like no more pretense. Like, this is just what I do, and this is the whole reason I'm doing this is that, and so I'm not even going to do that anymore. Yeah. And then people started asking me and getting some appreciation for it, and it's wonderful. And then somebody would ask me a question, and then I started doing this and blah blah blah. So one of the things that I said is that I don't know why I choose to do what I do. I just like what I like, and so all you can ever do in doing this is just write the songs the way you want them to sound and the way you hear. Don't try to fit it into anybody else's. And the whole reason to do this is, like, number one, to get people out of their car like you did, like the person you care about the most, like get her to sit out here and sing and do your thing. And if you think you would like to write a song, you can, and don't let anybody tell you can't. And if somebody, wants to tell you did it wrong, screw off. Like you can do it any way you want to do it. And if that's the way you like playing them, play them that way, man. And I think it's great. And I admire the ability to be able to play like that. And as time has gone on, I was also explaining to somebody for a very long time, it was, as Demi likes to say, what she's called herself, a three-chord Sally or something, right?
Yeah.
The first 20 years I wrote songs, it was 4 cowboy chords. I couldn't even play a B minor for the sake of beat. I just couldn't do it. And but you just keep going, and you develop, and when you have enough time. I didn't have the time to develop, but time goes on and you get better, and that's all it's about. You do what you can do, make the best of the skill that you have at the time, and just do it, and whatever it is, just do it.
Just play the music you got.
Yeah, and I think that's the best lesson of all, is don't be apologetic for whatever it is you're doing. Just do what you do, and be you, and that's the best thing you can be. So I think that's great. I think it's really great. I really like that song. I like the message in it too. So that's cool. We usually do the album side of the week here at this point, and something interesting happened. I've been trying to. A couple weeks ago, the artist that came in was Noah Gabriel, and if you've ever met him, he's got so much material, and a lot of it on vinyl, and we used one of his albums, which was a new thing. I never had vinyl of somebody that was here, so that was like wild. So that was fun. But so then the next, then there was a person, like I had them select something or bring. So then I had asked you guys, and something I'm going to, as new people come on, I'm going to suggest if they can bring things. And we were talking about it, you said you didn't have much of a selection. I'm like, oh, that's all right. So I just went over there and I randomly I heard something this week about Colin Hay. And I just off the top of my head, I'm like, oh, okay. And I had done, oops. Sorry. Did anybody jump? I bumped into the microphone. I had heard something about Colin Hay this week, and Men at Work. So I had done, Men at Work when I first started doing this, and I did side one, because, side of the week. And the idea is to get people to listen to music in a collection instead of hitting a playlist or on Spotify or whatever. At least try to spend some time listening to the collection of work as the artist intended it, which is what I started doing when I got a record player last year, and I reacquainted myself with that process, and it was great, and I enjoy doing it from time to time. Also, listening to an album makes you stay engaged. It doesn't just play for 3 hours on its own. You have to keep checking in every 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and pick something new. So I enjoy that. I don't, sometimes that's not possible, but sometimes it's enjoyable. So I know for sure I did side one when I did this. And it was interesting when I pulled this out, you had said this was huge for you, this record.
Was the first album that I ever bought when I was 6, So
it's almost like karma, like
I have long happy memories of that album. Yes, absolutely.
And you said side 2,
and the B side is the gold. I mean, all the pop hits are on the A side,
right?
But the B side has all the
people just love to play with words. Be Good Johnny and Touching the Untouchables.
Touching the Untouchables and Catch a Star and Down by the Sea. Those are fantastic.
Look, so you knew that by memory.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, the first album I ever owned.
Right.
I'm picturing you walk into a record store when you're 6 with your own piggy bank.
When I'm in kindergarten, right after Christmas with a little Christmas
I don't think
money,
I was aware of albums when I was 6.
I heard it on the radio, and I really wanted to get it. But then, the B side was what really won me over.
Yeah, side 2. So anyways, and as I explained the other time I had this on, and I told you earlier that, I was in junior high school when this record came out, and it was very popular, and I heard it a lot, and I didn't. It wasn't like I didn't hate it. I liked it, but I wasn't like totally taken by it. But later, when Colin Hay came back through, and I told you this, and was playing things later in life acoustically. He was playing all these songs that I had become familiar with as a 13-year-old kid. That like were just, like you at some point when you're beat over the head with something as a 13-year-old kid, you're kind of just like, okay, I've heard that a zillion times, and I sort of had that same feeling with Bruce Springsteen. Like he was amazing, but in 1985, you couldn't get away from him, and so like. I didn't really have an appreciation for him because he was everywhere. And it was much later where I was like, oh, yeah, I see that now. Like, I mean, I always appreciated it, but I didn't appreciate it. And when I heard him playing all those songs with an acoustic guitar and singing just guitar and voice, and it was like, oh, wow, like I see that in a whole different light. And then it caused me to go back and listen to the songs that I was super familiar with in the version that they existed, but hear them in a whole new light, and I really appreciated it much more. So it's I strongly recommend any of that stuff, especially if you're somebody my age and you sort of dismiss it, but you're a fan of well-written music. Give it another spin. So it's for sure worth it. So that brings us to. I guess it's time for me to do a song. I think I'm gonna do a song called "Good and Broken," and it's something I put out last year. Now we started a songwriters club. Brandon Reisdorf suggested, last year when he was here, you should start a songwriters club, and I'm like, okay. Now I've always written like only when inspiration struck. Do you guys tend to write, like, do you make appointments to write?
We have. It doesn't always
Sticks
work.
and Stones actually worked that
Yes.
way.
Yeah?
Yeah,
but
that
most
was
of 'em-
like kind of, it just all fell into place. But yeah, there have been times where like, let's sit down and write this weekend, and you kind of get stuck, right? It is very much an inspiration
It doesn't
strike.
always work, but like,
yeah, but I've found that sometimes just writing, even if you think it's crap, you might revisit it later and find that one line you like from just a free write and pull it. And
have you guys ever done a songwriters club yourselves?
Mm-mm.
This is the first time I've
No.
done it. I mean, it's been
not with others.
it's
No,
been revelational. I mean, really.
That's
'Cause,
cool.
like,
so you all get together and brainstorm, free write, or share ideas?
This was from basically we took what Brandon said that they did, and we just did what he did, and they there's a prompt, you pull the prompt out of the bucket, and the next time you get together, everybody presents a song from the prompt. So like, whatever. What was the first one? Because Joe said in Blue are in it. You remember the first one?
Just a random song.
The first one was just whatever because it was the first meeting.
The second one was a letter to the past version of yourself.
So a letter to the past version of yourself,
That's
which
a
that
good
was a
one.
fun one.
Then it was this using the word statuesque.
Use the word statuesque in a song. That's it. That's the only
okay.
prompt. And then this is what I remember, which was which I got mad because I was too challenged by it. Like I later admitted it was mostly just my psychological deficiency because it was and I also discerned that it was Blue's handwriting, so I was mad at Blue. That it was your house is on fire. You're rushing home because your house is on fire, and you get into a car accident, right? And it's like,
and then write
that's
your
why-
reaction.
well, that's
Yeah.
the prompt, and so whatever angle you take on that, and I was like, this is stupid. I don't know, this is too specific, but really, I was just way too challenged by it because I don't write like that.
Yeah.
But the whole point of the exercise is to do something different than you do,
Right.
like and do it in a way that, like, if you always write this way, try something new.
Switch it up, and I'm sure you got some good stuff out of it.
Well, it's just it's starting to like I struggled. I didn't finish that. I didn't finish last week, and we do it every 4 weeks seemed too soon, 6 weeks seemed too far, so we made it the 35-day song club. So,
I like that.
but we're all working on it, and there's no real hard and fast rules. It's not like if something doesn't happen,
You're kicked out.
But I'm harder on myself than everybody's like, it's fine. I'm like, no, I didn't finish. It's okay, Mike. Don't worry. I'm disappointed in myself. But the funny thing that I got out of it was like somebody came and brought a song and was like, well, I just made sure that I finished it. This is a throwaway. I'm never going to play this again. And then everyone was like, no, you have to
that's
keep
good.
that. Like, you
Yeah.
can't throw that away. That's really good. And
That's
so
cool.
the expectation was that this is not any good. And actually, the rest of us were like, no, don't throw that away. So you never know.
Yeah.
Like, what you think isn't any good
Right.
might be much better than you think. So it's been enjoyable. And so I've been writing a lot of new things. And this song that I wrote is something about. I wrote more recently, like in the last 2 years, and with some of the struggles that I've decided to reveal. It was when people started to listen a little more, when I was a little more honest about some of the struggles I had been going through, and some of the things that were real for me were that I have everything to be grateful for, a wonderful spouse and family, and worked really hard and achieved, what I set out to do, and yet I still couldn't figure out why I wasn't good with all of it. And there was a lot of things that I still needed to work on, and I felt broken. And but the moral of the story is sometimes we all feel broken, and you aren't. You just have some things to fix. So not even fix, just work on. So it's a song called "Good and Broken." So. End of the line, there's nothing left to mend. Impossible to make whole. Can't be fixed, took so long to understand this. I keep trying again and again. I think I'm broken, I can't find all of the pieces. Can't seem to find them anywhere. My sanity scattered only God knows where. Now all I do is sit and stare. Burned out, used up, now all but gone. Maybe gone for good this time. It ain't gonna change, you can't do anything about it. Still no relief for this pain. I can't fight anymore and I really don't wanna die. I just want this pain to go away. I think I'm broken, I can't find all of the pieces. My sanity is scattered all about. Trying to pick it up and put it back, but I find another hole. I think I'm good and damn broken. I think I'm broken, I can't find all of the pieces. Can't seem to find them anywhere. My sanity scattered only God knows where. Now all I do is sit and stare. I think I'm broken, I can't find all of the pieces. My sanity's scattered all about. Trying to pick it up and put it back, but I find another hole. I think I'm good and goddamn broken. I think I'm broken. I think I'm broken. I think I'm good and goddamn broken. I think I'm broken. I think I'm broken. I think I'm goddamn good and broken. So that's good and broken.
I like that one.
Yeah. I think we've heard you play that one before. With something with us.
I'm sure it's one of the ones I've been playing for the last year or so, and it's pretty regular in the set these days.
Yeah.
But I playing on here recently. I've been trying to play some of the newer ones, and earlier today I was trying to think of what to play, and that one just came to the front of mind. So I try not to argue with that too much these days. For a while I felt like I was overthinking everything. So lately the new rule is try not to overthink. So I just, if that's what came to my mind, I just try to do it. So the arguments that used to go on up there were pretty extensive at times. So
I saw a bumper sticker the other day that said, "Are you overthinking what I'm overthinking?"
yes. Well, maybe.
Probably.
So, do you guys have anything coming up? Anything scheduled? I mean, it's a weird time of year. You guys got, you said you got, almost teenagers, and so
Yeah.
you guys are probably busy with school and things. Do you have too many gigs right now, or?
We actually don't have any gigs for the rest of this year.
Yeah.
But we're gonna use that time to hopefully write some more songs.
We got more stuff coming out, so we
Yeah.
gotta figure.
Did you guys
We'll-
record
we'll
this
finish
record
some
yourself?
stuff.
Do you have like a home studio, or did you go somewhere and do that?
No, we recorded Populist Recording. Our friend James Scott in Wheaton
Sounds great.
runs
Yeah.
it. So we recorded with him, and he was great to work with. But yeah, we have a couple songs that aren't on that album, and we'd like to work on more. And
Yeah.
when you're not performing, it's a great time to hibernate.
It
And
seemed like
in
you
the
were pretty
cold
busy
weather.
over the summer, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had some good stuff in the summer and September, and yeah.
Yeah, sometimes this happens in the winter. You kind of everybody's holding up anyway, and it's a rough time to be out. It's a rough time to try and sing, in the winter, and so yeah, it's easier to just stay at home and write music there.
Yeah, but looking forward to next year and
Yep.
see what comes up.
We'll probably pop up at some open mics here and there
Oh,
just
yeah,
for fun.
it's fun.
But yeah.
I know
Nothing
that
serious.
there's not too many things. I only have one or two things coming up, and seemed like there's a lot of things slowing down. So I was talking I was talking to Demi actually not too long ago, and she was like, "I don't have very many things." So there's a few folks out there that are still busy, but all right. So you guys have another song you want to do that
Yeah.
off the record that
Yeah, we'll do.
or otherwise or new or
Yeah,
old
I think
or
actually this one that we're gonna do is not on the record.
that
It
sounds
did not make
awesome.
the record. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a recording of this yet, so I don't know if you want to talk about it.
What's
at
it
all.
called?
The song's called Marbles.
Marbles.
And, it is. It's probably. I mean, I think at least the way things sort of begin is it sort of is an.
It's like life wearing you down.
Yeah, it's about just not being able to take it anymore, but sometimes
That's pretty
just how it- but
relatable these
sometimes
days,
That's just
right?
how it goes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just kind of got to knuckle under and you just got to go anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's yeah.
Now, did you
Survive
write
and
it
move forward and
Did you write it for this record, or did you have it for a while and it was just part of the collective of things you were working on or
We
playing?
started playing it before the record was done, but it
Yeah,
was not. It was not. It's not the same vibe. It's not.
No,
it'll be on the
it's
next
something
record.
different.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wrote it around the time that we were putting the album out.
Right on.
So
Yeah.
it's
Marbles.
a little, I don't know. Sometimes it makes me sad, but
Yeah.
I don't
Tony
know, so
Cruz
does
said
life.
it gives them all the feels.
there you go.
If you throw a marble in a jar, don't add up to much so far. But if you keep on throwing more and more, the water spills out on the floor. Oh, that's how it goes. Whoa, that's how it goes.
If you leave too many words unsaid, the volume builds inside your head. And if you hold your tongue for far too long, everything comes out all wrong.
Whoa, that's how it goes. Whoa, that's how it goes.
Tossing, turning, bridges burning. I'm still learning. It's not worth worrying.
If you shovel dirt into a hole, give it all your heart and soul. Fill it till you got no more, but you don't know what it's all for. Whoa, that's how it goes. Whoa, that's how it goes.
And if you finally win that crown, someone will come to tear you down. So try your best to tune them out and remember what it's all about.
Whoa, that's how it goes. Whoa, that's how it goes.
Tossing, turning, bridges burning. I'm still learning. It's not worth worrying.
If you catch a marble as it rolls, give it to someone to hold.
Find a friend to share the load.
Help you make it down the road. Whoa, that's how it goes. how it goes.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
Whoa.
Yay.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you.
That's how it rolls. Like a marble. Wait. Sorry. That was great. You said, do you have plans to record a new record? Do you have a timeline? Nothing? No.
We're just writing some
maybe
songs.
next year. Yeah.
We have a lot of partial ideas.
It's well,
I
I know that
half songs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and earlier I was describing to you know I spent a bunch of time raising my family, and I know that like there's a whole lot of things that are above the songwriting and recording stuff on the gotta do list when that's going on. So I understand. If you could put your finger on what you think, and you guys could decide to answer together or separately, but there's a question that I try to ask everyone, and it's the basic question is, what is your why? But what do you think drives you to want to write music? And it's the point of this whole thing is to talk about songwriting, and everyone has a different version of what that is. And for some people, it is just, what do you think it is that some people are just content with just playing covers and doing gigs like that, and just kind of they have fun doing that, and that's all they ever want to do. I just know for me, for like literally almost as quickly as I started playing music, I started writing music, and I just I'm always curious as to what is your why? What do you think drives you to want to write things?
Do you want to? I mean, Josh is the one with the composing background.
Yeah, I mean, I went to school for writing music because it started, way back when I was a kid taking piano lessons, just like adding extra stuff on top of my piano music after a while. And then it was, playing along with songs and adding extra stuff in. And I didn't realize at the time that that's kind of what I was doing. But I kind of have to. I feel like there's music going on in my head like all the time, and I almost feel like it's like if I were to put down a needle, that I can listen to it now, and then I can go do other stuff. But now I'm going to listen to it again, and so I just get ideas all the time. And it used to be, I used to call my answering machine when I was in college, and I had nothing going along with it. But I
now we have
like
these
singing
things,
into my answering machine, and my roommate thought I was nuts,
right?
Because he'd be like, he'd get back and he'd be like, Josh, what the hell? There's like 4 messages on this machine that's just you going bleep 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 bleep. Come on,
I don't
man.
want to forget that.
Yeah, I was like, no, but what else am I gonna do? And so I used to carry staff paper around with me, and now, yeah, you're right. It's so much easier to have a recorder in your pocket. But I just make up stuff all the time, and so I need to have some place to put it.
See, now you did it too.
Yep, now I did it too.
That's
okay.
all right. I do it all the time.
I need to have some.
I do it at least twice a week.
I need to have some place to put the ideas, and she writes pretty great lyrics.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and you had mentioned playing covers. When we first started playing, we played covers.
Yeah.
And Josh had a couple originals that he had kind of flushed out. And our first songwriting experience, you may have heard us tell this song at Fitzgerald's, was he had this like 7-verse song that was beautiful, but it was so long, and it
meandered, and it just
you couldn't quite tell what when he explained where he was going with it. I was like, oh, that's a beautiful idea for a song, but hearing it, I was like, I don't know that you're getting that across. So my first songwriting experience was like editing a song Josh had written on his own, and that was really fun. And then he had a couple ideas that I wrote lyrics to. But I can vividly remember the first time I was at work and, opened up a voice memo and, sang lyrics with a melody that had come into my head. And I was like, wow, maybe I can do this.
Right, this
and
is
it's
that
one
thing,
of those,
right.
Once you write one song, they kind of just...
Well, and then you realize that
get that.
it's happening, and
Yeah.
you've tapped that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. That's the thing that I find most interesting, because I keep having these conversations recently, and it's like the more that I have the conversation, the more that I have the conversation. And I just find it fascinating. Some answers are because I must, and some others, others are they're very detailed in like specific in their answer. And I just find all the answers to be fascinating in that the world needs more people creating, and the art of creating, I think, is where, I don't know, it almost feels like without getting too deep or philosophical, like there's something lost somehow in recent time where the creative, it's all very homogenized, and like there's a value lost in the ability to actually create, because there's so many assisted things that allow things to be created in such mass that it's devalued on some level or something. Like, so when people can create, like, it is special, and regardless of how many people are doing it, it's still special that you can do it, and that you can do it, and like people have to be reminded, no, that's a special thing, and it doesn't matter that there's 7 times more people than there were 110 years ago, like on this planet. So like it's more prevalent, but we have to do this, and we have to keep telling these lessons to be, not be so mean to each other. And like, we have to keep reminding people these things, these stories, these things. And what better way than in a song? These are lessons that have to keep being taught. And I think we just have to keep reminding each other to be kind, and to like, and what better way than in song?
Yeah.
And I think that if you're driven to pick up this thing and make these beautiful melodies, then to have someone who can also, write these lessons that need to be taught. I don't know. I've somehow stumbled into this forum where I'm telling some random channel that people stumble onto to listen to your songs. Like I don't know. Like these are all good things, and I think it's great. I think it's great that you're doing it. I think what you're doing is great, and I'm trying to tell as many people as I can of how much great music there is in this area.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how we met, was at a songwriting event, and there's so many local people who do support each other, and it's not this, like you said, we can all be creating and supporting each other.
It's not a competition.
Right.
There are some real cutthroat scenes out there, and the one that we've stumbled into, at least, all of us together, really is not that way, and it's really more like studio class, and everybody's out to support everybody else, and for the most part, we all want to see everybody else succeed.
Yeah. That's something that I did this for a while as a young person, then I got married, and then there was a point in my 30s where I did it again, but at different points it was more like what you described, and my memories are more competitive and less. There was I don't know what's the right way to describe it, but
people were out to step over each other,
and a phony,
30 years
and
ago,
a phonier smile, and people were nicer but not in a nice way. Like there was a kind of. And and I really became pretty cynical in my own world. Like I this place that you guys are, like, I built this place, but it was because I didn't even really want to go out there. And then I went through recovery and being in public places and all those things. Like when I decided to go back out and start playing again, like, I quit music. And again, you guys are hearing stories that other people have heard dozens of times, but I stopped doing this, and I went back out and did it again, and it was because of the cynical memories and this. There's no place for original music in the suburbs, and unless you're in the city, I'm not going to the city. That's not happening. And there's all these different reasons where I kept telling myself this isn't going to work. But then I started going to a few places, and I went to Preservation, and I met a bunch of people, and then I went down to and I met Colleen, and I ended up down by far away from home, but down south at the record store, and then I went and I met Joseph, and I met Blue, and I met these, and I started meeting all these wonderful people who were focused on original music and playing, and covers are cool too, and seeing people playing covers too, but but there was a much more, I don't know, like communal vibe than I ever remembered. And, you know, it just was so surprised by it and encouraged by it that was part of what sparked me to be less worried about having to make sure I play a couple covers with every original, you know, like I started being more like, forget it, I'm just doing this. And then, and that was a little more than a year ago when I really kind of made the switch to, you know, pretty much 95% original music, and it's going all right. So, you know, I mean, it's just good people, like you said. Everyone's, for the most part, everybody I've met is just super, super supportive. So
yeah, we like when we first started going out to open mics, we did covers, but then like we'd keep running into the same people. Like that's where we met Sept.
We met Sept early
and
on.
you were doing more originals than we were, but I remember like one of the times we brought one out for the first time, and like Sept or others would come up to us and be like, "That's awesome! That
Do
you
more
wrote that
of them."
song.
Right,
I like that. You should write more." And you know,
Right.
like it's really encouraging.
Yeah.
Instead of,
And
you
then-
know,
and
is
I-
anyone listening? Does anyone hear this?
Right.
And does anyone care? And when someone says, "Yes, I do,"
right.
that's really encouraging.
And I always, anytime I see anyone play an original and they seem tentative or they're wondering, or, you know, like I always try to make sure to go up to them afterwards and congratulate them for doing it and having the courage to try, because that's for anyone who if there's a person watching or listening and you've never tried that and you don't know how scary that is to stand up there and reveal your soul, because not only are you playing it, but you're revealing this piece of art that you created as well. And so you're not only performing it, but you're also like, you created this piece of art. There are two separate things that are there's a multitude of terrifying things going on in your head all at once. So I commend anyone for trying. It's among the hardest things I've ever. I could play in a band, like I played in bands for years. It's when I started standing by myself, or like, you know, with a guitar and voice and singing songs that I wrote, that was way harder than any band situation I was ever in.
I'm just so grateful that the first open mic that we went to, the first time we performed, we had such a great experience.
Yeah.
You know, just there, like, you know, we had Raj Soni, who's a big reggae ray of sunshine. like come on guys, come up, and it was purely coincidence that we were number 3, so we were going to give ourselves a little buffer. And then the first 2 acts suddenly couldn't perform, so it was like, okay, Clare and Josh, you're up. And but it
Rip
went
that
really,
Band-Aid off.
yeah,
That was
but it went really well. And like in the middle of the second song, like Claire was looking around, like people clapped,
this.
and it was like, oh, she's hooked. I'm
Right,
like,
right,
here we go, man. She's hooked, and so then we kept doing it.
Right, there you go. You're done. This is forever now. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you guys were here. I'm so glad that you guys were able to share some of your music. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a joy, and it's been a joy to get to know you. And I look forward to some of the things coming up. I'm pretty sure we're playing somewhere in the spring, so that's exciting. Thank you, Sept and Blue, for your help. Thank you, Gene Price, for your help.
Thank you.
As always, melmusic.com, MELMUZIC. I do have a couple things. November 2nd, I'm playing in Simerton, Illinois. That's far. At 2 p.m. on a Sunday. That'll be fun. They're having like a big thing down there.
It's a cool town.
I played down there in over the
I haven't
summer.
heard of that.
Because that's that random town we drove to that one day.
Simerton Tap. I'm playing
Okay.
at.
Yeah,
and
that
I-
was
we
the
like
bar.
cruise-
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They have
I've
a-
actually been
He
there.
is playing there.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I
They
played
have
there
live
in the
music there.
I played there in the summer, and they had this big thing, and there was a cover band later in the day, and I don't even remember how I ended up there. And they were super nice, and they called me back and said, "Do you want to come down and play?" And I said,
Sure.
"Yeah, man."
Awesome.
So there's the town is like, I don't know, 100 people, but there was like 1,000 people at this bar or whatever.
Wow.
Like I wasn't 1,000, but I mean there was
It's
way
the
more
only thing
people
in
at this
town.
bar than there were in the whole
yeah.
town. So however they do that, I don't know how they do it, but it's fun.
Cool.
And so that'll be fun. On next week, we're gonna do. We don't have a guest, but we're gonna do something different. Where I think we're gonna talk about like different things like like split sheets if you co-write, because we were talking about some of these things, or sync licensing, or some of these other things that I've been talking to people about. And I took a music business courses a number of years ago, and I've been going back over some of these things as I'm getting ready to go back through and try to figure out how to diversify some of my assets with some of those things, and some things that I learned along the way, that if somebody's new at this, you should always be paying attention to those things. So it might not be a bad subject. Play a couple songs and do a short show, and then talk about some of those things on November. So in 2 weeks, Cheryl Tomlin. She's amazing. She's from like over by that Berwyn scene. She's super talented. And Diane and Dave, who is an amazing story of people a poet and a guitarist who met at an open mic. And, I don't want to play covers. I can't write words. I'm just a poet. It's like you got your peanut butter and my chocolate. I got your chocolate and my peanut butter. Anyways, they're super nice people. And then on the November 14th with Blue and Kenny P. Mitchell at the 4 Points. That'll be a fun night. What's it called? 4 Point Saloon. 4 Points Whiskey Saloon. I knew you would have the proper name, and I would have it wrong. So, all that stuff should be on melmusic.com. That brings us to Dumb Joke of the Day. We have to do a goat check for Dumb Joke of the Day. Working. Okay.
Wow.
Screaming Goat. All right. It's on the top. This comes to us from Bed Bath & Beyond. Okay. This comes to us from Bed Bath & Beyond this week.
Didn't they go out of business? Now they're writing jokes.
You got to do something to keep. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. So this was previously Dr. Alan Grant and Elton John, but this week it's Bed Bath & Beyond.
Okay.
All right.
So Here
we go. So, and it says, my friends and I are in a band called Duvet. Honestly, this is part of the joke, is I'm nearly illiterate. It's also part of the joke. We are a cover band.
But ching.
All right, that was a good one, Blue. Blue has become responsible for the dumb joke of the week and dumb joke of the day, and I like it that way. And like I said, part of the joke is that what was the one word that I didn't know how to say? Pterodactyl. Right. And
like a silent P. It is confusing.
But that was part of the joke, was the silent P part. And I didn't know. I'm like, what is this word? I don't even know what this word is. Right? Because I'm, like I said, fairly illiterate. But that's also part of the fun. I'm not afraid. I am what I am. So, all right. Thank you guys for being here. It was
Thank
very,
you so
very
much for having us, Mike.
It was a joy. Thank you guys again. We'll see you guys soon. So thanks for being in the Songwriters Lounge.